Big Mike here with
He's Entertainment.
Today's episode. We got a kickboxing legend. We got Sugar Ray Sefo, 6-time Muay Thai world champion, president of the PFL right now.
Like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button.
What's up, everybody? Ray Sefo here, 6-time world champion and the PFL President for Fight Operations. I'm live with this. I only touch greatness.
Looking for the most beers on tap, great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.
The #1 sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
There he is. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
The legend, Sugar Ray. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, thank
good.
you. I'm Ryan, by the way, and this is Big Mike that you've been talking to.
Rob and Mike, right?
Ryan and Mike. But yeah.
Ryan and Mike. Got it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for taking the time for us today. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
How's your day going?
Not too bad. I mean, we had the show last night, and then this morning I kind of got to sleep in a little. Got up, had to go do my COVID test. Had a few meetings, and then I did a few interviews, and then this is the last one for the day.
Yeah. Awesome. You must be doing it. You must be doing a ton of COVID tests these days, eh?
Yeah, we test every day.
Oh wow!
So since I've been here, I've been tested over 10 times already.
Holy.
Yep.
So when did the kickboxing and the fighting start for you?
I mean, when I was 5, my dad gave me and my brothers my first boxing glove when I was 5, and that kind of started it. Then he would teach us how to box a little because my dad used to box. My cousins, uncles all boxed, so I was already into it. And then martial arts. My dad rented a couple of movies of one was Jackie Chan's movie. I think it was Drunken Master, and the other was Fist of Fury with Bruce Lee. And at the age of 7, I was completely hooked. I was like, wow, I want to do what they're doing, you know? And and then I think around 12, I started Wing Chun Kung Fu until I did that for 6 years. And then I switched from Wing Chun to Muay Thai kickboxing. And it wasn't until, I was 18 and when I got challenged to a fight. The funny thing is, I never wanted to be a fighter. And that kind of, when I got that challenge, my mind was saying, what the hell, you know?
Yeah.
No, this is not something you want to do, but my heart was like, F you, let's go. You know what I mean? So I was kind of torn, obviously, sometimes, and then I accepted the fight, and that was the beginning of it all. And, and then I just kind of started from there and picked up titles along the way and just going to continue from there.
Well, you made the right. You definitely made the right decision. I mean, 6 times Muay Thai world champion, and great kickboxer, great boxer, great MMA. I mean, you did it all.
Yeah, you know what? I say this to everybody. Like, I'm so thankful and so grateful, and I thank the good Lord every day that I'm actually doing what I was supposed to do. This is exactly what I'm supposed to do in my life. On earth, you know what I mean? Like, and I truly, I've heard this saying many a times, it's not work when you love what you do. And I wake up every day and I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to have the job that I have. And I look forward to it every day like that. You know what I mean? And I saw an interview, I can't remember, I think it was Will Smith, where he says, if you're waking up every day and you're dreading what your day's gonna bring, then you're not doing the right thing. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
And so, for me, I'm very, very fortunate and very grateful and very thankful, that I get to wake up every day and do what I love to do.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
I played rugby when I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess back home, everyone plays rugby, right?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Everybody does,
That's like our hockey.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Who did you look up to fighting wise growing up?
That's a good question. I don't think I don't look up to anybody. I've never been that person, but I've admired what a lot of people have done. And for example, one of my favorite boxers is Sugar Ray Leonard. Just because he's such a intelligent boxer, but he was a guy who could fight but also could box. You know what I mean? He was very intelligent in the ring. His IQ in there was just one of the best. And so, I looked at people like that and I admire what they did, and then I go, I'd love to do something, similar to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Watching that Jackie Chan movie and Bruce Lee movie, those two movies, what changed my mind, what got me hooked, out the gate. And so ever since then, I've always loved martial arts. And even to this day, I still train 6 days a week and coach while I'm there as well.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I don't think so. I mean, I like to sing a little bit here and there, karaoke and that, but that's just karaoke. So I don't know if that's a talent.
One of the questions we always usually ask is if you for $1,000 prize or whatever, you had to sing one karaoke song. What song are you singing?
It'd probably be. I'm a huge Lionel Richie fan, so it'd probably be 3 Times a Lady.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
What was your favorite strike and favorite submission?
Favorite submission would have to be the rear naked choke. Favorite strike? Well, I don't know because, actually, probably the spinning hook kick, which is a nice one, but I've never landed. Matter of fact, I threw it against Mike McDonald and it went over his head.
Oh.
So yeah, no, it's a kick that I don't rarely throw. You know what I mean? Just because when you're fighting at that elite level of striking, it's a kind of kick that can get you into trouble if you don't land it.
Yep, for sure it can. It's funny you bring up Michael McDonald as well. Michael McDonald, Mirko Krokop, Mark Hunt, Stefan Lico, Mike Bernardo. You fought some pretty tough guys in your career.
Right.
Do any of those fights stick out to you? And who would you say the toughest opponent you had?
They were all tough. I mean, Peter Ertz, Jerome Urbana, Nursa Hoos, Andy Hoog, Francisco Filo. I mean, Mike Bernardo. The list goes on. They were all tough. What I can say is, I mean, Sam Greco. The list goes on, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was just that I was just grateful that I was able to compete with some of the best of the best, and but they were all tough fights,
What was the first CD you ever had?
The first CD
or tape if you're that old.
I'm trying to think. It might have been Julio Iglesias.
Okay.
A great one.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. What's it like being the president of the PFL and doing all that stuff and working beside Randy Couture?
I love it. I mean, I get to work aside Randy also at the gym when he's there from time to time. I was also part of his, when he was still competing, part of his training camp and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's so amazing. And I was just saying this, at dinner a couple of nights ago with my partners or some of my partners that I feel so blessed that I get to do what I do. You know what I mean? It's just, again, like I was saying earlier, this is exactly what I was meant to do. And I'm very fortunate and very grateful that I get to actually, live it out and do it every day.
You guys are just growing and growing and growing. And I don't know, I just love the PFL right now. And, it's going to be right up there with the UFC here pretty quick. If not, it's going to take it over. I mean, you guys are getting some big names in there now, and the fights are amazing, even last night.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, I mean, yeah, that's just it. I mean, the goal is to try and sign up the best fighters that are available. Nothing but love and respect for the UFC. They're good people. But for us, it's whoever becomes a free agent and is looking to shop, we definitely want to be part of those conversations.
Yeah, if you could sit down for dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
I know, I had to redeem myself.
That's an awesome question. I've never been asked that before. Dead or alive? Probably, jeez. Dead or alive?
Mine's always Muhammad Ali, just because I love to pick that guy's brain.
And mine's always
funny because go ahead.
Mine's always Tupac.
Yeah, because of the fight game, I would probably have to say Muhammad Ali as well. That being said, I love to sit down with Sugar Ray Leonard as well.
Both good choices.
Yeah.
And also, there's rumors out there that Wiz Khalifa's part of PFL now too. Ownership, is that true?
Well, it's not a rumor. It is a fact.
Oh, okay.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Oh, must
We
enjoy
love-
his company.
Yeah, we love his music, so that's awesome. That's a great addition to the team.
Yeah, no, it really is. Obviously, myself and the team were very thankful and also very honored to have some of these guys as partners. It's been great.
What do you see yourself accomplishing in the next 5 to 10 years?
Say that again.
What do you see yourself accomplishing in the next 5 to 10 years?
Listen, the goal is to number one, grow this company into one of the best in the business. And that's not to say to overtake anybody else. That's just, the goal is to try and be the best, just like I was when I was competing. And when I say that, so that we are able to provide opportunities and, for fighters and continue to grow the business. I mean, that's obviously the biggest goal right now. And then, obviously outside of that, it's to live long enough to see my kids get to 30 or 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a dream fight that never happened for you?
That's a good one too. No, I've pretty much fought everybody. Now, Miko Krokop was a fight that I took on short notice. I think it was like 3.5 weeks notice. I would have loved to have a full camp for that fight, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Remy Bonyansky was another fight that I wanted, a rematch. I mean, there's a couple of fights that, that I could run it back, but I'm just thankful that I was able to share the ring with those guys as well. So no regrets, but yeah, maybe that's the best way to answer that question.
Absolutely.
Do you have any hobbies or interests outside of sports?
I like to play tennis, but I don't get around to it much at all. My life nowadays, since I have my kids, I mean, I just love spending time with them.
Yep.
That's a hobby in itself.
Yeah. My wife sometimes tells me that, when she says, "Oh, you should go out with the boys." I just love spending time at home with my kids. And yeah, so yeah, outside of work and coaching and things like that, that's kind of like my favorite thing to do outside of work.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, they're amazing kids, you know what I mean? And a big shout out to my kids, Ramon and Adriana.
What does
are they into the fighting at all, or?
My son trains jiu-jitsu with the team at Extreme Couture at Elgin. And and he does kickboxing with me. And my daughter I'm slowly getting her into she actually, matter of fact, she tells me to, get up and hold pads for her from time to time. So with it, probably sometime this year, maybe late this year, I'll get her to start jiu-jitsu as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you rank as your top 3 priorities right now?
My kids, PFL, and probably being a good coach.
Yeah, you're coaching a lot of real good MMA fighters too in the UFC right now. Is there any guy for us to look out for?
No, not at the moment. I mean, I have Brad Tavares, whose family. Same with Misha Shurganov. Roman Valencia is another one that working together. But we're Eric and myself and a couple of a few other coaches at the gym. We kind of all help out with each other.
That's awesome.
Because we have a lot of guys that are fighting, and if we're there, for example, I'm away. So Eric is, helping out with Brad and Roman and, some of the guys with training. So it's, we're such a good, close family team there.
What does your daily routine look like?
So Monday, I get up, get my son ready for school, drop him off, go to the gym, coach, come home, in my office, when I say come home, meaning, since COVID, I've kind of moved my office to my house. So, but prior to that, I would go to the office, and do a few hours of work. And then either picking up the kids or I'm straight at the gym, depending on what time my wife finishes work. Then I'm at the gym, either training or coaching again, and then home time.
Okay. What do you think of Jake Paul in that last fight with Ben Askren?
I picked Jake Paul to win that fight.
Okay.
Now I picked him to knock him out, later in the fight, maybe halfway through, but I didn't expect him to knock him out in the first round.
Yeah, last night we had Dustin Jacoby on, who's fighting tomorrow in the UFC.
Oh, and, that's right,
yeah, and he was saying to us too, which makes total sense, is Ben Askren, he's a grappler and a wrestler. Like Jake Paul's a boxer. It's not really a fair fight.
Well, that's the thing. That's the reason why I picked Jake Paul to win that fight, is because Ben Askren never won a round of striking in his whole MMA career.
Yeah.
Outside of the fact that he's a great MMA fighter, and then he's a champion, but MMA, it's not boxing. Boxing's just strictly striking, you know? It's only striking, should I say. And so when that fight was matched up, I just knew Jake Paul would have it to finish him, because he had been training in boxing for a while. He had a couple of boxing fights.
Mm-hmm.
And here's somebody that he's great at MMA, but if you've never won a round of MMA in striking, how are you going to beat a guy that's all he's done is striking?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, I feel for Ben, but to get, it's just, that's the reality of the matter.
How important is it your fighter's public image?
Oh, it's very important. Not only for the league, but also for themselves. I mean, you got to have a good image, so that, number one, you can pick up sponsors. You're representing yourself, the league. So yeah, it's very important.
I'm sure you collected some cool stuff over the years. What's your favorite piece of sports memorabilia that you have? Or what means the most to you? The
one that stands out at the moment, that's in my office, is boxing gloves of Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And what would you say was your favorite stadium or arena you ever fought in?
It would have to be the Tokyo Dome in front of 80,000 people.
Holy, yeah. I would think so. Sounds like a good venue.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Do you keep up with Mark Hunt at all much these days?
No, not much. I mean, he unfollowed me on Instagram. I don't know. Maybe he's getting too big.
Oh, really? No way. No way.
We followed each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
And, I always support Mark. After we fought, we became friends. So I thought.
That's why I asked the question, because I thought you guys were friends.
Well, I mean, yeah, so did I. But now I don't know if. Again, no, maybe I shouldn't. Because
okay, let's go next question.
Because no. What I was about to say is, like, maybe his team that looks after his Instagram or whatever. But then I was like, I know nobody tells Mark what to do. You know what I mean? So, or maybe he's just been advised to unfollow certain people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't follow many people anymore.
No, he doesn't. That's weird.
So, so when I was going through, I was like, oh. So I left it for a while. Maybe it was because every now and then, somebody would unfollow, but they follow you right back because whether it's a glitch in the system or something, right?
Yeah.
And they follow you back. So I left it for a little while, and he didn't. And I was like, okay, well, forget it. So I unfollowed him as well.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Oh,
for sure.
we might have to have a celebrity. We might have to have a celebrity match. You guys both might have to come out of retirement here.
Well, the funny thing is, it's funny you say that because I was contacted by the people that run Ryzen because Mayweather was going to do a fight in Japan, and so they contacted me to do the Mark Hunt and I as one of the fights on that fight card, the Mayweather fight card.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm in, and I'm pretty sure Mark said the same. But then COVID hit, and then I think Mayweather ended up having different plans or whatever it was. But that's what I was told anyway. And then that all kind of fell apart.
That would have been really cool. That would have had a lot of fans, man, and a lot of people watching that. That would have been sweet.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be a boxing fight. I mean, Mark and I have talked about it before, that we would love to run it back. And again, that would be another slugfest until somebody goes down.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
As a coach, what's the best advice you give your fighters?
The one thing that any coach wants is a fighter that has the kahunas to go in there and face, because you can have a fighter with skills and without having the balls to really kind of, push through the tough times. Those guys don't really, make it to the top. You know what I mean? And so, my advice is always like, stay sharp and stay smart. And when I say that to them, they already understand that, we've just done the training camp of 3 months or whatever that might be. And we go through all these procedures, we go through the process. They understand what staying sharp is and what staying smart is. You know what I mean? And so, and I think that's probably, the best advice you could give, because if you've done all the hard work, there's really no need for too much to kind of put pressure on the fighter in itself. I mean, the fighter in itself is, there's a lot of pressure for anybody getting in there. You know what I mean? And so you just try to keep things short and sweet, and make sure that it hits home so that they could focus and do the job at hand.
Absolutely. You got that right. And that's what one of our favorites is. They can't beat you if they can't outwork you.
Yeah, no, exactly. If you have the will to win, listen, the fight game is so unpredictable that anything can happen. You know what I mean? But the guys that has the grit and willing to lay it out all in line are the guys that will always come through.
Describe the qualities you believe an effective coach must have.
Say again?
Describe the qualities that an effective coach must have.
Well, I think it's important to have come from a boxing or a kickboxing or a mixed martial artist background, meaning that you've competed, to fully understand what that is. Because you never understand what that is truly unless you've experienced it. And that's a fact. I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, you got to be able to understand what they're going through. You got to, because you've walked it. You got to be able to understand to correct the mistakes that are made. Because when it comes down to the game, there's only, as they say, it's the game of inches. And so when you get two top level athletes at the highest level, it's the guy that makes the least mistakes is the guy that's going to come out on top.
You got that right.
For sure.
I just want to thank you so much, Ray, for taking the time for us today and coming on and chatting with us. We've been big fans of yours for a long time, and we love the PFL, and I support it and promote it as much as I can, and I really do appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys. And by the way, you guys actually asked some really good questions. I love it when, I really do like it a lot when questions are thrown at you that people don't think about. You know what I mean? And so
it's one thing. It's one thing we like to do. Like Mike's usually good for the stats. He hits them with the stats, and I always try to come in with the questions that'll catch you off guard and be thinking about it. And it makes for an easier interview. So it's not always like so question and answers, and always it's good to talk about some things other than just say fighting or hockey. If we're doing hockey,
100%.
Yeah.
No. It makes it more fun too because.
And you get to see personalities.
Right, exactly. I agree.
If you're looking for a mug, perhaps a hoodie, head on over to IOnlyTouchGreatness.com.
Looking for the most beers on tap, great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.